Welcome back to another edition of Two Guys
For Real. Today we're going to be talking about a documentary feature called Searching for Rodakis.
Exactly. Directed by Karim Solmaz. And to give you a little overview of the film, think about it like this. A Turkish family finds a Greek tombstone under their house, and they got this zeal, they got this passion, they got the fire to find out who it belonged to. You know, there's a lot to unpack here, Nico. A lot that's under the surface.
Under the surface.
Oh, like the tombstone.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, this is a story that has a lot of nuance to it. The events that we see in the film only might span a couple months to a couple of years in terms of what goes on. But really, there's hundreds of years, centuries worth of political strife and struggle going on beneath the surface, like you said.
Absolutely. And you got to give it to the family because they had no obligation to find out who this tombstone belonged to, you know? You find a piece of rock under your house, it's got Greek writing on it, you figure, oh, it's thrown in the trash. But no, these people thought, maybe it's a good idea, maybe there's a story here, maybe that's someone's relative, maybe they want to find out who it is. And let's get a closer look from Doralicious, who's got the interview for us.
Çok ağır ya.
Evet.
It was a very normal, hot summer day in my mother's village in, Trakya, northwest of Istanbul, to say. And in a very normal morning, very ordinary morning, we happened to find this big old piece of stone.
Bunu nereden buldunuz abla?
İşte zeminden çıktı evin.
Kime ait olduğu falan belli mi abi?
Krisula diye bir kız,
Resim.
bir kadın ya da
Yaşı falan.
belli değil.
Resim. Sadece bu mu? Başka herhangi bir kalıntı yok değil mi?
And the idea or the concept of home is like a place you know it very well and you're very secure and safe in it, and you don't really expect to find something very crazy like this in your home. So for me, it was really striking to find a 135-year-old, remain from the house that my grandmother born, and the knowledge inside me was this is our house,
Mhm.
So that was kind of shocking for me, and but the biggest motivation for me in the next step was that none of us had any idea about this stone. Naturally, we could not read what was written on it.
I have a lot of memories from this house. Memories with my grandmother and all of my aunts and all the cousins. 6 years ago, on a summer morning, my cousin Okan was repairing the floor tiles inside this old house, and he found a big piece of stone. We cleaned it, but we could not understand what was written on it, except for the year, 1887. One of my Greek friends translated the hand-carved letters on the tombstone. The servant of God, Chrysula Rodaki, rests here, March 1887. Apparently a Greek woman was buried under my family's house.
Apparently, we don't know where we are living. We don't know what happened here. So let's look around. Let's ask people and understand from this remain, from this tombstone. So that was the first moment.
It's interesting because from a tombstone that says the name of this lady, Rodakis, you went into like an analysis of history and you start to learn more about history. So before this, how much did you know about the population exchange of 1923?
I mean, I can say that I didn't know much things about it. Just like my parents, just like my aunt and all my cousins, people around us in the village, they didn't know basically what happened in this village and how it happened and how was it 100 years ago. But you know, when something just comes from your house like an old remain, it kind of tackles your perception about your own history and life. So it's kind of making you asking questions about.
After the First World War and the fall of the Ottoman Empire, the young Turkish Republic and Greece made a treaty. Both countries wanted to form homogeneous societies. Only one ethnicity, one identity, and one religion, under one flag. So Muslims were forced to leave Greece, and Christians were forced to leave Turkey. 2 million people had to leave their homelands on short notice, leaving everything behind. Many people died on the road because of hunger, diseases, and lack of safety. They left, but their hearts stayed buried in their hometowns, suddenly not wanted in the motherland, and a refugee in the new country. The trauma has passed to the next generations. It's still possible to see the melancholy of population exchange in both countries' social memory.
I mean, in the end of this journey, I felt like we all have this emotional thing in us. I mean, these people can just sit and talk for like hours about their parents, how they took care of their gardens, how they, grew tomatoes, flowers, and that emotion of home and the feeling of belonging, naturally the identity. So that was really big, and that was a great vibe in that.
In the documentary, someone says that common people don't have anything to divide. And being in this political unstable scene of both Turkey and the relationship between Greece, how important is to have a documentary like this with a human aspect?
Couple of months ago, there was a very massive earthquake in Turkey, and one of the first rescue teams came was from Greece. And until then, traditionally, there was this tension between two countries again. But when they came, people got extremely emotional, and they welcomed them at the airport, and they spent time with those people for like, I think, more than a week, maybe like weeks, I should say. And then they went back to Greece with very high emotions. And moments like that kind of make people understand that, just as said in my film, the common people didn't really have any problems.
That was a really fascinating interview. Thank you for sharing that perspective with us. Thank you, Dora.
Absolutely. And if you want to watch this film, it's available online. Just go to our website, gift.ca, and you'll find it there.
We hope to see you at the Greek International Film Festival this fall.
I'm Alexander Antoniadis.
And I'm Nico Ramses.
And you've been watching Behind the Scenes with two guys.
For real.
That one felt smooth.
That one was smooth. I like that one.
That was smooth. That's what I'm saying.